now. Okay.
Without using Wi-Fi or route?
This is very good. So, actually, this is today's outline. What is blended learning? Why blended learning? And how to use blended learning in the classroom. And I think my colleague Hisham has touched upon what and why, and we will not consume much time doing this. So, you know now what is blended learning, right? So what is blended learning?
To use the teacher and technology and the students all while we are teaching. Yes.
Very good. Thank you so much. Yes.
Without having a specific material or book.
So actually you have an objective that you need to target.
Yes.
And you will use the most of your resources that you have. Okay, right?
Okay.
Because it's not haphazard. Actually, when you have something, a target, it's not haphazard. But actually, there are a lot of planning at home, and then you do it in class and flipping your classroom as well, right? So it's a term that increasingly used to describe the way e-learning is being combined with traditional classroom methods and independent study to create a new hybrid technology methodology. So in e-learning, we have three parts. We have in-person classroom activities facilitated by a trainer or an educator, and online learning materials, and it's often including pre-recorded lectures given by that same instructor. And we have structured independent study. Actually, this will help us get independent learners instead of the dependent learners that we have in class, to have autonomous learners. So, 5 reasons to implement blended learning, and actually Hisham has touched upon that thoroughly. So it matches learners' skills level, expands learning time, prepares learners for real-life situations, focuses on human interaction, we collaborate, we work in teams, engages our learners the way they love to learn. Actually now the mobile from the students, why? So actually we can integrate using the mobile that they use all the time, chatting, doing anything that you want, into learning and into studying. And this is very encouraging, and this is actually will get them very involved. So how are mobile apps used in blended learning? So actually we have, just like Hisham has said before, face-to-face driver, we have rotation, we have online lab, right? That was before the break. And then the self-blending flex and the online drive. And these are the learning tools that I think Walid will touch upon that. So I have here 10 sites for blended learning, one of which is, and it's a free visual and student-based response system that educators use to blend learning and assess students in real time on browser-based devices. This is one. And the second one, Beam for Education, it's an education tool that allows educators to browse and curate the web students in a safe environment in actually still real time. Beyonce, it's a fantastic and easy to use tool, e-education portal that educators are using for blended learning, creating presentations and more. And here we get the Bloom's taxonomy up. We're not targeting the lots, actually we're targeting the hops. So they will not actually memorize, and we're not into the level of understanding and memorization, but actually we're targeting the top of the pyramid, which is analyzing and
evaluating and
creating. This is the top pyramid. We have Edmodo. It's it's a trendy site. It's a free and safe social learning environment where educators can collaborate with students and assess them to deliver best teaching strategies. We had Edpuzzle is one of the most popular resources on the web to flip a classroom or lesson. And what is to flip a lesson? What does it mean, flipping a lesson?
Role playing. To change our rules. I'm waiting for the results. No, give the result.
It's one thing.
Looks like flap classroom.
Okay, thank you. What else?
Flipped classrooms are based on students participating inside the class, not the teacher.
So they are
Teachers.
So classroom actually is it teacher centered or student centered? So now it's
Flip.
the system is to be a student centered classroom and not teacher centered anymore. What we mean by flipping the classroom is that, and it's actually it's done by most of the universities now, and I hope the schools will do the same. When you have a platform, you get the material uploaded on that platform, and then you have all the material, and then you ask your students to prepare. And then they read whatever material that you have. You upload videos on that related lesson. You have songs, you have whatever grammatical parts that they need to learn before coming to you into class. And then you might add a small quiz. You might add so that you assess their comprehension. They are not here actually and watching a movie, no? It's just like you have to assess their comprehension. How far the material you uploaded on the platform. This is a flipped classroom. And then when they come to class, apply. You don't actually explain anymore. This is actually the application part. Here plays role, and of course you don't do any preparation, explanation, anything. You just apply and then assess, and then if any of the participants or your learners need further help, you will help. Okay? And here actually, sorry? If they need, of course, according to your assessment. So you give them activities. It's all about production now. It's not explanation anymore. So you cannot, for example, it's something new. You do not explain on the board, today we will take the present simple tense, for example. No, they know beforehand that you will apply something on the present perfect tense, and so actually they have, or else they will feel at loss.
Yeah, we have once that part with the slides for they do have flipped classroom over the WhatsApp, and the teacher gives them extra resources and then discuss it later in the
This is
classroom.
very good.
It's very
Actually, this is the way many universities now. For example, as far as I used to teach, this is the way we teach at the BUE, the British University, and the AUC now in the model.
It's all flipped class.
It's all flipped classroom. We have the students and they prepare beforehand, and it's all about application and production, and that's it.
Only I have to define our objectives, aims, targets.
Of course.
Only at beginning, then actions that you will go on, and the result at the end, giving an extra assessment. Okay?
So imagine that you're not actually explaining, you're just playing, applying.
Yes.
How is the atmosphere of the classroom then?
Interactive.
Very
Very
interactive. It's just like
Enjoy our time.
enjoying.
Yes.
Yeah. Very useful. Autonomous learners, they are not here to suffer, they're here to enjoy. So for example, you can punish a student and say, you will not play with us. Uh-oh, if you did that again, I'm sorry, you will not participate in our game. See the difference? It's like he will not participate.
And do everything individually or in pairs, sometimes in teams, to be effective person in our society.
Very good. So now we are building soft skills,
Yes.
not only language skills.
To build the humanity of the people, not learn him, give him everything, give. No. I'll help him to search, find, and think, play, act.
So,
Okay? To be affected.
do you
by
think the role of the teacher will change then?
Yes.
Yes.
So you're not a
Only
teacher.
A guide.
Thank you. You're gonna be a guide. Sorry. What else?
Direct,
I think
Excellent. You'll direct those students in the correct path.
arrange,
Very good.
Facilitator.
Facilitator.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Coach.
Coach. Very good.
I think the role of teacher is so important even in the system, as teacher should have provided some pre-explanation online. At classroom, teacher should be inspiring, motivating, but should also have
Very good.
So teacher won't disappear totally on the scene. I will just modify rules flexibly, but will still be the master of the scene.
The master of the scene using applications. Just like you apply things. You
Using
do not
application
actually
give more time to students to work actively.
collaboratively excellent in teams. So we have this missing concept in schools that I want this information for me and I'll hide it and it's mine and that's it. I will never share it with my friends, and which is something that we need actually to change. Right?
Teacher should work hard to avoid any students' confusion, misunderstanding topics, and so on.
This is very good. So this confusion will actually be eliminated when they apply by their hands. Right? Okay.
yes. So the role of the teacher is to arrange, watch, facilitate, giving feedback.
Very good. Very good. Sometimes because we suffer, our schools suffer from a large number of students.
Yeah.
For example, 50 students in a class, 40 or 30, I don't know, how many students do you have actually. But can you imagine that you're giving feedback to 30 students at the same time in the same lesson? So, for example, if you're talking to your student one-to-one, what are the others doing? Could you imagine that? And actually, this is the case. But when you do it online, actually, you're saving time, you're saving effort, and not only that, but also the student can also listen to it again and again and again.
And play at home.
He'll refer back to it. It's easy.
Play it at home.
Yes.
In their play time.
Correct?
I really noticed that self-confidence in my students, in my problem, you will grow up very hard. By using
So you
their
boost
mobile,
their self-confidence.
yes, by
Yes.
using their mobile applications and they play in the class. They didn't never ask about the lesson and no.
When the lesson ends, they will feel frustrated.
Yes,
They want again and again and again from you.
it was a very short
They
lesson.
won't be happy when you are absent.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yes.
This means the teacher create a kind of motivation.
He's a motivator, yes. Of course.
They always ask me about. It was very short lesson.
Although it's the same
Give us
45
an
minutes.
extra one.
I agree. I totally agree. Yes, sir.
I think this should only be part of the lesson, not the whole lesson. I'm going to turn my students into robots sitting at desks. Students should have some kind of social learning, should play games physically, not only online. So technology should be just part of the lesson, but not all the lesson. Should be one of
Of
my
course, it
projects.
depends on your target, on your lesson plan, and of course, having blended learning does not necessarily mean that you will not prepare or you will not have a lesson plan. This is totally the opposite. You need to be very timed and very specific in your timing. Yes. Sorry?
When it comes to discussion plan, so does it somehow affect the discussion plan, or for example, like the PPP sequence? Like for example, you said that the student activity, or does it actually overlap with the idea of the controlled practice?
Actually, it will not, but you will change it, and there are other kinds of lesson plans. We have the TBL, TTT, things of that sort. So you will suit your lesson according to your lesson plan, according to the lesson that you are targeting. Okay? I have 15 minutes on that. It's okay. So we have also, you can read now. So you have also Kahoot, Khan Academy, Lesson Path, and Otis. All of that sites actually are the 10 most recommended sites used for blended learning. It depends actually on your target and what do you want to deliver to the kids. It depends. It all depends, and it has many things. Has got a lot of variety. For example, variable things online.
I already have a problem in this book.
May I finish and then I'll come to your point. Thank you so much. So, why Edumodo for blended learning? Here are the benefits for Edumodo. Okay. Edumodo is among very useful tool for blended learning. It can be used to frame assignments and resources for the classroom. Teachers can make posts for their students just like on Facebook. So instead of having Facebook, we have Edumodo as well. Okay. Educators can organize students into groups. They can ask students to join the group, and teachers can give feedback and badges to their students. Excellent, well done, best writing. These are very motivating and encouraging as well. Edumodo account of both teachers and students can be linked using Google Drive account, and I will never refer to this because I need to say this. Here is a video of how to use it.